Dele Alli's story didn't begin under the bright lights of stadiums or the roar of crowds. It began in silence, the kind of silence heavy with absence and unanswered questions. Born in Milton Keynes on April 11, 1996, Dele was just a small boy when his world fractured. His father disappeared from his life early on, vanished like a shadow at dusk, leaving behind a hollow ache and a string of broken promises. The man who should have been his anchor was nowhere to be found. His mother, a warrior in her own right, struggled to hold the family together. But poverty was a relentless storm, and sometimes love alone wasn't enough. The house grew colder, food was scarce, stability was a dream. At age 6, Dele was sent to live with a foster family. Suddenly, the walls that once held his memories were replaced by strangers' voices and unfamiliar routines. The boy who once slept in his mother's arms now slept alone, wrestling with a creeping loneliness that no child should ever face. But the foster home wasn't permanent. A decision was made that uprooted him again. He was sent to Nigeria to live with relatives he barely knew. The journey across continents was a physical and emotional exile. A 6-year-old thrown into a world that felt both foreign and unwelcoming. In Nigeria, he faced new challenges: language barriers, cultural gaps, the sting of feeling like an outsider. Yet in this displacement, something inside him began to harden and grow. Football became his only constant, a universal language amid the chaos. He kicked worn-out balls on dusty pitches under a burning sun, dreaming of a future where he might belong. Years later, back in England, Dele found himself again at the MK Dons Academy, but the scars of his early life never left. They lingered beneath his dazzling smile and electrifying runs on the pitch, a silent weight he carried with every sprint, every goal. Those hardships, those moments of loss and dislocation, shaped him. They fueled a fire in a boy determined not to be defined by what he had lost, but by what he could become. From those uncertain beginnings, Dele Alli rose, a raw, restless talent, hungry to prove that the past would not dictate his future.
The fall was slow, then sudden. Mauricio Pochettino's departure in late 2019 sent tremors through Spurs. The man who had nurtured Alli was gone. Jose Mourinho arrived with a different style, a colder gaze. In front of cameras and teammates, Mourinho called Alli lazy, a word that stuck like a scar. Public humiliation.
Lazy
Confidence cracked.
Injuries piled up.
Hamstring strains, knocks, fitness battles. The spark dimmed. The 2020-21 season was a nightmare. 15 appearances, 0 goals. Every touch was tentative. The ball seemed to betray him. Off the pitch, the pressure mounted. Headlines questioned his professionalism. Stories of missed training sessions, Ibiza parties with Jack Grealish. The Dele Alli memes exploded on Twitter. Gary Lineker tweeted jokes at his expense. Fans who once adored him turned cold. Dele was no longer the rising star. He was the punchline. January 2022 brought a lifeline. Everton signed him for £40 million. Frank Lampard spoke of revival, a new chapter. But the promise crumbled. Injuries and form issues followed. 11 appearances, no goals. Confidence drained. August 2022, a loan to Besiktas. A fresh start in Turkey. It should have been a reset, a chance to rebuild. Instead, it was chaos. 1 goal in 13 appearances. Fans booed, media mocked, red cards, frustration. Then came silence. No Instagram posts, no interviews, no updates. Speculation grew. Where was Dele Alli? What had happened to the boy who dazzled Wembley? In 2023, Dele broke his silence on Gary Neville's The Overlap.
At 6, I was molested by my mum's friend who was at the house a lot. So my mum was an alcoholic.
He revealed wounds hidden beneath the football headlines. Sexual abuse at age 6, forced drug dealing at 8, family trauma and addiction. The demons he'd fought in silence: sleeping pill addiction, depression. The young man who seemed to have it all was battling for his life. He said, "At 24, I nearly retired. The revelation shocked football." Support poured in. Jamie Carragher tweeted, "We failed him." Fans expressed remorse. Suddenly, memes felt cruel, not funny. The silence was not laziness. It was survival. By 2024, Dele Alli was no longer the footballer clubs fought over. He was a free agent, an outcast, a cautionary tale. The headlines had turned cold, the fans indifferent, the future uncertain. Then came Como, an Italian club in Serie A, willing to offer a lifeline, a chance to restart, to rewrite the story. But football, like life, doesn't always bend to will or hope. Dele arrived in Como with a flicker of hope in his eyes, but reality hit hard. The pace, the culture, the expectations, it was different, unfamiliar. His debut was a brief glimpse of what might have been. 10 minutes on the pitch, a flash of old magic, then a red card. An instant blow to confidence. Since then, appearances have been few and far between. Injuries have lingered, fitness is fragile, and form feels like a stranger. The fans, once hopeful, have grown restless. The press whispers of a fallen star. The dream of resurgence feels more like a desperate grasp at a fading shadow. For Dele, Como isn't the triumphant return he imagined. It's a reminder that time is not always kind, that sometimes the fight is not about glory, it's just about staying in the game. Yet even here, amidst the struggle, there's a quiet defiance, a man still searching, not for trophies or headlines, but for peace. His story at Como is unfinished. It's raw, it's painful, but it's also real. Because not every comeback is a fairy tale. Sometimes, the bravest thing is simply to keep going.